My spiritual warfare started in August of 2018. As many of you know, Mary and I, we own some restaurants in Kansas City. We were looking to grow, and we had a deal to buy 6 more restaurants here in the metro area. We had the deal done, took it to the company, and we were told no. That was devastating to me and my family. And that took me into a season that I call I failed. The devil took the opportunity to bombard my mind with all of my failures. He convinced me that I was a complete failure. I was a failure as a father, a failure as a husband, a failure as a Christian, a failure as a businessman, a failure as a son to my parents, a failure as a friend, a failure in every aspect of my life. During this time of turmoil in my life, he continued to kick me while I was down. I will never forget, I was singing on the worship team here at TFC on a Sunday morning in September, when between services I got a call from one of the restaurants who was extremely short-handed. So I went to the store. There was a storm that day, so there was no power in the neighborhood around the restaurant. I worked all day from 7 in the morning till midnight, and I was at the end of my rope. My wife and my daughter knew that I was in trouble. They insisted that I go to my parents' house for prayer. This was around 12:30 in the morning. So I ended up face down on the floor, crying out to God in absolute exhaustion, fear, shame, and defeat. And even though the prayers helped, the devil was relentless in his attack. I went home and immediately went into a catatonic state for almost a month. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't get out of bed. I really thought I was going to die. I ended up in the ER, but nothing man could do could help me. I was completely mentally, physically, and emotionally dead. That's when my I can fix this turned into he can fix this. During this time, my wife, my kids, my parents, my friends, family, my church was praying for me. My recovery was slow. Mary, my wife, knew I needed to replace what the devil had put in my head with what she called faith declarations. She taped this paper onto the vanity mirror in my bathroom. And every time I would get up, I would read these faith declarations out loud. And if I didn't, she would read them for me. This is the actual paper I still have from 2018, because I still have to pull this out periodically and read these. And so some of them are, thank you, God, that these doors belong to you. Thank you for trusting us with these doors. Thank you for our mental and physical health. Thank you for a great, strong marriage. Thank you for our beautiful children. Thank you for carrying our burdens and problems. And these were just a few declarations that I just kept feeding into my mind and into my spirit. After a few days of reading this and His Word, I realized He was restoring not only my life, but our business. As I was renewing my mind and my spirit, God was doing for me and our organization what I couldn't do. What God did for our organization and me in my life is humbling and miraculous. Over the next 14 months, He took us from 4 restaurants to 8. He provided us with a new director of operations for the company with 20 years of experience, 3 new supervisors, all with years of experience, 2 new office staff, 7 new store managers. He doubled our sales and even increased our profits, even though we were in a pandemic. All I had to do was get out of His way. And He restored my mind, my emotions, my relationship with Him, and I no longer walked in fear because I knew God was in control. I know that I am not the only person who has been in some kind of spiritual warfare. Some of you may be going through something like this right now. So when Pastor started his series on spiritual warfare, I felt it was important to share my story and pray that this will give you hope. My prayer for you is that you change your "I can" to "He can."